What's up, crackers and honkies? Fuck, where'd my sunglasses go? God damn it. I need my sunglasses for dramatic effect. What's up, crackers, honkies, foids, and moids? Mayo monkeys. White devils. Yakubians. Oh, my forehead's itchy. My forehead's itchy because my skin's better. Because my skin is healed. There we go. Oh, volume up? No, don't tell me that. Sorry, I was walking away. Don't tell me volume. I cannot fuck with the fucking stupid mic. What if I do that? How's that? Every time I fuck with the mic, it clips. And it gets gainy, and I need to make clips out of my streams. So don't tell me volume up unless you're dead serious. Unless you're fucking dead serious. Good. Thank God. Very informative. Hey, thank you. You know the worst part about being a YouTuber is my content and my skills as a writer and communicator get better and better. But my views go down. YouTube, see, here's the thing. Let's go to my YouTube channel here and look at some things I've made, okay? Let's just look at let's just view my channel, okay? Right. So here's my videos, okay? This one objectively, I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you how it is. I'm not complaining, okay? I'm not coping. You know, fetish art, best video, probably did quite well. That's fine. This one, great video, okay? Views are down. The views are down. What can I say? It's how it goes. Because you get better. And you think, yo, you know what I'm going to do? Now that I have, like, I've honed my writing skills. Now that I've honed my skills as a communicator, as a writer, as a researcher. And now that I've developed skills that are actually quantifiable and useful. And set me above the rest. I'm going to make a good video. I'm going to make a good video that I believe is informative and communicates something important. That's not what YouTube wants. YouTube wants Gen Z archetypes explained. YouTube wants Gen Z is the most extreme generation ever. 3 reasons. A 7-minute video. That's what YouTube wants. YouTube doesn't want quality, which is fine. I've made my concessions, okay? I've made my concessions with the way YouTube works. And my vape's broken. And my vape is fucking busted. Anyway, regardless, you know, that's life, man. That's how it goes. What can I say? I'm gonna cry about it. What do you think? I'm gonna fucking start pissing and shitting and crying about it? What you want to do? You want me to roll around on the ground like a baby? And be upset about it? Wait, what if I put... What am I doing here? What if I put that there? No, that did not work at all. Here? Nope. Nope. Okay, never mind. Didn't work. Research ability. Hey, thank you, man. The futurism video, quite proud of. What did you have for supper? What did I have for supper? You know what I had for supper? You'd never guess. You'd never guess what I had for supper. I had a block of goat cheese and a pound of grass-fed ground beef with salt, pepper, cayenne pepper, and ghost peppers on it. And then I made hot chocolate with coconut milk and fresh cocoa powder and stevia. That's what I had for supper. Just a bowl of ground beef with a block of goat cheese mixed in. Okay? Was I the victim or the perpetrator? I was the victim at first. And then they started to like me. I grew on them. And they let me join their club afterwards. I was very thankful to Jeff. Me and Jeff go way back. Bonesaw McGraw, thank you for the 420. Did you have a message? Because the message for some reason did not seem to play, nor did I get the alert. Unless you wanted to stay anonymous. So let me know. Oh yeah, congrats on graduating. Yeah, no, you have to get the thing with Jeff, and Little St. James. The thing with Jeff and Little St. James. Let's just pull Little St. James up real quick. The thing with Jeff is that you do have to graduate. And I think it's sort of like hazing. Where you get raped for a few years. James. There we go, Little St. James. Yeah. Yeah, you get fucked up. You get ravaged for a few years. Then after that, once you've kind of earned your stripes with the boys, they let you into their little club here. Where are we? British Virgin Islands. Or sorry, we're in Puerto Rico. Yeah, Little St. James. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I had some good times on the island. I had some good times. I had some bad times. Don't get it twisted. I had some horrible times on the island as well. But you know, it's not all bad. I wouldn't be the man I was. I wouldn't be the man I am today without the time I spent in this little temple here. Good time, good people. You know, I wish Trump the best. Trump's being persecuted right now. Who else was there? Bradley Martin. This message here. Thanks, King. Missed message here. Thanks, King. Didn't come up. There we go. Aussie reporting. Aussie reporting in. I'm about to finish uni to be a film/history teacher, and people like you, Gerby, DJ Peach Cobbler, got me off my ass at 27 to make something of myself. Having a kid also helped. Hey, man, that's really great. I'm glad that I can, you know, inspire whatever it is I do. I'm glad I can inspire people, man. I really appreciate that. Congratulations too. Congratulations on having a kid, on reproducing, and congratulations on getting off your ass and making something of yourself, man. Who else was on the island? Bradley Martin, that famous podcaster. The famous podcaster Bradley Martin was there. Yeah, Bradley, he was a good guy. Huge. He's got a hammer on him, and you kind of expect that when you look at him. With his little hat, yeah, you know, he kind of looks like the kind of guy, and you might think to yourself, oh, you know, this guy's probably got a small dick. But no, that's all not true. These bodybuilder guys, all the ones that would come up on, like, you know, Ronnie Coleman was there, Jay Cutler was there, Chris Bumstead, he was there as well. But yeah, Bradley Martin, these guys, they do have huge cocks. You wouldn't think. You think the feminist literature, the you know, that feminist brainwashing we've all went through with our with the steroids and stuff. It's not true, man. Yeah, the guys in the big trucks with the muscles, they got huge dicks as well. I saw them all there. Did I have fun? Yeah, man. It's some of the best years of my life. I wouldn't trade those for anything. I wouldn't trade this for anything. I mean, I wouldn't be here today without those years I spent on Little St. James. What do we got today? All shit posting aside, new videos out. Great time. Life's good. Can't complain. I do want to catch immediately the new. Actually, one sec. Let me check the Discord. There was another thing here. I wanted to read. Someone about catching the stream. Finally catching your stream on a drunk Friday. Managed not to pass out. Let's go. Love from England, bro. Hey, man. Jack Bradshaw. Thank you very much. They could carry if they could carry Wheelchair McGee. They did, man. Although I don't want to steal Charles Carroll's cred with what he did to Wheelchair McGee there. Don't want to get in his way. Let me see. Things you want to see on stream. What do we got here? Flesh Simulator. Anything new? Nothing new. Gus Johnson. Nah, not much on there. Gog or Zog? David Goggins, man. I think David Goggins he's over underrated. I think as Goggins gets tossed into the knucklehead camp, Goggins gets thrown into the bonehead, the mouth breathing camp a bit too much. I've got some respect from Goggins or for Goggins. I think Goggins he works hard. He knows he's retarded, and he doesn't try to give advice on being retarded. He has this great thing. I think it's his Lex Friedman interview, which is probably the best thing Lex Friedman has ever done. Is sit in a room with a bunch of fucking jackoffs. But at the time, he sat in a room with David Goggins, and Goggins was going on about how he is so retarded that he has to wake up in the middle of the night to reread things he studied that day in like his medical textbooks because he forgets it so fast. So he has alarms that go off in the middle of the night, and he'll wake up and reread things he's already read to just to like get it in his head because he's so like dumb he can't remember things correctly and recall information. And like all of his exercise stuff is very unorthodox, and people will ask him like, what should I do? And he's like, don't take advice from me. I'm like an idiot, and I had to like do extreme shit to make this work. He's also like, he walks the way. He's a EHS first responder. He's a firefighter. Like he does all this thing. Actually, so I can't complain. Went to the CJ the X live show yesterday. Subjectivity on Art is a great video. Would love your take on it. Yeah, I've talked to CJ a lot about subjectivity in art. Might be objectivity in art shit. No, I believe the video is titled Art Isn't Subjective. Art is not subjective. Is that the video? CJ the X Art. What is this? Art. Arrival. What is that video called? Oh, there's my own podcast. That's nice. I forget what that video is called. Anyway. Yeah, we've talked about that a lot. I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting. I think it rings true to me. I don't think like good art isn't subjective. Subjectivity in art. Yeah, good art isn't subjective. I think that like I've spoke about this before. Isn't that it? Wow, I never noticed this. Little St. James got Dog Island right next to Little St. James. You don't want to go to Dog Island. That's when you you fucked up, man. You're on Little St. James. You're trafficked out there as a beautiful little boy, and they take you to Dog Island. That's where the real chaos goes down. That's where the gore happens, man. You know, crush porn. That's where Epstein started that, man. The famous New York financier, Jeff Epstein. That was his idea, man. He was the progenitor. He was the womb. Little St. James was the womb for all that dark stuff. Yeah, no, I don't believe. I think good art isn't subjective. I don't think it is subjective. I think these things emerge through time, and the collective the emergent collective value of an art object from a society is what's important. Like when you look at The Death of Socrates by Jacques Louis David, that's not subjectively good. That is an objectively good painting. It matters in its historical context. It matters in the moral imperatives it's preaching. It matters in the mastery of its handling. It matters in the context of the man who created it and that guy's place in society at the time. That is objectively good art. There is a objective difference between The Death of Socrates and some first year art students' drafts on a sketch. Like art isn't subjective. And you can tell, right? You can tell when it's what um Robert Pirsig, right? When he talks about quality and like quality, his conclusion in his work in motorcycle maintenance is that quality is objective and you know it when you see it, but you can't quantify it. And that's a very disappointing conclusion, right? Because we want to philosophize. We want to philosophize. We want to rationalize. I want to be able to explain to you why quality is objective and why a quality is an objective property of something and why things have quality and why things don't have quality. But I can't explain that to you. But you know that you know when you see it, and I know that you know when you see it. I know when you witness something of quality and you take it in, and that's what matters. I think like language in that sense is truly. I mean, language is so flawed, garbage, man. We should have never invented language. Language is so flawed and garbage to begin with, right? But then it's like to try to take the concept of beauty and be like, or the sublime, the classic, that painting, overlooking the fog painting, Wanderer Above the Sea. That's what it is. Wanderer Above the Sea of Fog. Classic. The Nietzsche, the cover of the Pocket Nietzsche by that guy who translated it. What the fuck is that guy's name? If someone knows the name of the guy who translated all the Nietzsche books and wrote the Pocket Nietzsche, drop it in the chat. This guy, this painter, there was a movement of painters at the time who were trying to capture what was called the sublime, okay? She wanted because the sublime was a emotion that was first written about. If I'm getting my story correct here, there was a explorer who was climbing a mountain and he was journaling the entire time, taking a diary of his day to day, trying to climb this mountain. And he had this experience where he fell from a small cliff and got stuck on the side of a cliff. And he was holding on. He was like attached with it. One of his straps got like stuck on a branch, and he was hanging off of the cliff, like looking down at his own death. And anyway, he survived. And when he wrote about the experience, he wrote about this emotion that conjured up. He said it was like an emotion he had never felt before. It was this like insane sense of like timeless awe, of like infinite beauty and infinite suffering, and like infinitely terrifying but like infinitely beautiful, fourth dimensional across all time, like life flashing before his eyes. And he called it sublime. He called it sublime. So the concept of the sublime became like a very big thing, I believe, in England. And a lot of these artists, there's ton of these paintings, but this is one of the paintings. This is the context of this painting, is that it was these artists trying to capture the written emotion of the sublime in painting. But the thing is that it's like it can't be captured. Like the sublime, and like there's been researchers, in the same way people do like flow state research, in the same way people do research into peak experiences. Like a lot of psychologists and neuroscientists do a lot of research into peak experiences, and sublime could be considered a peak experience, where they're trying to like, what are the conditions of the brain that produce like the flow state? What are the conditions of the brain that produce peak experiences? In the same sense, like the sublime obviously can't be captured. It's a contextual emotion that arises when you're faced with, like, I guess, something so jarring and so much bigger than yourself. Like you can't fathom what you're looking at. So same thing with this explorer who fell off the cliff, who was looking at his own death, right? But anyway, all I'm getting back to is this concept of quality. This concept of quality can't be quantified, but it's you know when you see it, and the fact you do know when you see it proves that art isn't subjective. Good art has quality, and quality is not a subjective property. It is an objective property. Either art has quality or it doesn't. I get that feeling. Bass Fishbone. I've been getting really back into running. Oh, thanks, Benjamin Applegate. I appreciate that. I've been getting back into running recently. I used to be a big runner, and I used to run half marathons for fun. If you can believe that. So I've been getting back into running recently. I've just been keep this between you and me. I know I got this sort of Ernest Hemingway alcoholism thing to maintain, but I've been dry for like a month at this point, and just been totally focused on diet and exercise and good sleep and productivity. Break up with somebody, man. I was in a relationship for a year and 3 months, and I broke up with her. And then after I broke up, I got really into like boozing and cruising, and then I was fucking somebody for a bit, and then that fell off. And then I realized I had nobody to fuck, and drinking was getting really boring. So I thought, whoa, I'm just gonna like focus on myself, I guess. And then I don't know, a month later, I feel pretty good, man. The dry month has been good. I'm down 20 pounds from my heaviest this year. I PR'd my 5K for the first time. I didn't PR my 5K overall, but I got my best 5K time in 4 years, I believe, like last week. So, you know, it's been good. It's been good. But to keep that between you and me, as far as the audience knows, I'm an alcoholic writer. I got to keep that facade up. Anyway, but when I'm running and when I'm deep, you know, when I'm past the wall, once I'm adjusted on like kilometer 3 or 4, like mile 2, once I'm adjusted to the run, and I listen to like Godspeed You Black Emperor. I listen to I'll throw some Kanye on. I'll listen to some Alice in Chains, but I'll listen to like, I don't know, especially Godspeed You, where it's such emotional, rising music, such a film score level of like of emotionality, and something about that combo of that band with like being deep into a run with the runner's high, it like I've literally started tearing up on my runs. Like I'll be running, especially I'll hit a downhill section too. I'll hit a big downhill section. And I'm adjusted. I'm not tired. My heart is racing. My cardio is not giving out. My legs aren't giving out. The right song comes on. I'm well hydrated. I'm stretched, and it's like I've literally like started tearing up on these runs because it feels so good. It's like it's a feeling I can't capture in any other like activity of day-to-day life than that feeling. It's crazy.
We need more philosophy brothers who aren't huffing their own farts. Can you do a video about simulacra? Been reading Baudrillard lately. Keep up the work.
Thank you. Bluthenderb. I can't say your name. Thank you for the $5 man. $5 goes a long way in Canada. That's like 40,000 Canadian dollars. I love Baudrillard. I think Baudrillard, I had tweeted this out, and not to quote my own tweet here, but I think it was poignant, is that, people say philosophy, like contemporary philosophy, the Western philosophy is footnotes to Plato. I think Western theory, critical theory, what have you, literary theory, is footnotes to Baudrillard. Like, Baudrillard got it. Fucking Simulacra and Simulation got it. Like, that was, like, everything else. If you break down more contemporary theory, it is all touching on simulacra and simulation. Just this idea that we like. I mean, Mark Fisher, right? Like Mark Fisher, one of the greats, as they say, one of the all-time greats. fucking loser blew his brains out. One of the all-time greats. Mark Fisher, right? Was when he's talking about capitalist realism, when he's talking about ghosts and hauntology, right? He's discussing, like, at its core, the concept of, like, we are recursively fed our own culture back to us, which we then act out in a less authentic sense. And when that happens, it's like you don't really understand, like, what we're. What's up, Mr. Astronaut? Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate the kudos. We don't really understand what our true desires are. We don't really understand, like, what we actually believe and what we're getting at, and the way our desires are manufactured by advertising. And I know that sounds really hokey, right? Because when I say manufactured by advertising, you're thinking about fucking, like, what they live. What is that fucking movie where he puts the glasses on and all the ads say obey, like some fucking corny horse shit? That's not what I mean. I mean, like all social media, the entire ecosystem of short form media is advertising. And when you when you see something pop up on short form media, and you're constantly, I mean, it's the best example of, like, a simulation culture, when you're constantly taking in short form media and trends and micro trends and products to buy and songs. Like, you never get to the core. You never figure out, like, okay, what is actually good? Like, what is believing in itself? What of these things I'm consuming, of these products I want to buy, songs I want to listen to, where at the bottom of this is the piece of cultural production that believes in itself, that believes in something beyond itself, right? Am I buffering? I'm not. It says I have an excellent connection, but if I look at my viewfinder here, it says I'm buffering a little bit. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. That's what I like to hear, man. I love when that message pops up. It makes you really happy. Language is mutual brainwashing. He probably originated his hypnosis to eat the man by the other man. Yeah, no. I would do a video on simulation. That's a heavy video. That's a very, very heavy video. I would be very cautious when I do make that video. Anonymous tipped 567. Thank you. I don't know if there was a message there. If there was a message with the thing, I did not hear it. I heard the noise, but I did not hear the thing. So if there was a message, throw it in the chat, and I'll read it out loud. Shenandoah, what's up? A small part of that exists that is real cultural production is the people who get past concept and have a felt sense of creative potential. Let me read that again. The small part that exists that is real cultural production is the people who get past concept and have a felt sense of creative potential. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to look, man. I don't want to get too far into a meta conversation about the concept of creativity here. But it's difficult. There's a I don't want to say there's a horseshoe, but there's a horseshoe, okay? Because you have people who, when you have an idea, the idea is perfect, right? When you have an idea and that idea has not been developed, when that idea has not been at all dissected or expounded upon, or actualized or legitimized, made material, that idea is perfect. When it's at a point that you alone understand the idea is perfect. Like that the work is done. You had the idea. Many people, and whether it's writers, creatives, what any creative endeavor, they have to deal with the fact that that idea becomes imperfect the second it becomes actualized, which is fine. That's the process of creating art. That's the process of creating anything, as the idea gets worse as you go along. But it becomes real, and a real idea is better than a perfect idea that doesn't exist. And then I do believe in market forces being an important aspect of creating good art. Because if you've seen art, maybe someone here has gone to art school. Somebody here has run in elite circles. if you spend time with people who have never had to worry about what they produce being valuable to a broader culture, the shit they make is fucking garbage. Because all they have to worry about, people who are like born with a silver spoon, who never learn discipline, who have never had to fight for something, those people's main concern is self-expression. And self-expression is a horrible, horrible fucking devilish, bottomless pit to explore when making art, right? Self-expression is what preschoolers do when they get into like art, when they're producing something. That's self-expression. And by self-expression, I don't mean, sorry, that's a very, very broad term. I don't want to say self-expression. That's a very like broad concept. I mean self-expression in the sense of like expressing your concept of yourself. I don't mean self-expression like by just creating something. I mean self-expression like you believe within you there is a pure, uncorrupted self. There's a self you have to find, and your art making is your process of finding this uncorrupted self and bringing it out and showing it to the world. And it's all based on this and this extremely egotistical drive to like find yourself. Finding yourself is a fucking bougie worry. Finding yourself is what rich people worry about. Finding yourself, figuring out who you really are, that's shit that you worry about when you don't have to make money. That's shit you're concerned about when you don't have to fucking feed yourself or pay your goddamn rent, right? So I think that art always sucks because you get these people who are like, if they can produce anything, if they can, even because most of these people who are obsessed with this concept of finding themselves through their art will never make anything. They'll never make anything. They'll talk about it. They'll ideate, but they'll never produce anything. And when they do, it will be garbage, and they'll have no work ethic, and they won't do it twice. They won't improve upon it, right? Holy shit.
Stop yapping and actually express something through a medium that isn't whining, you silly, silly man. Love your work, XOXOXO.
Thank you for the... Is that an Australian? Jeez, wait, what's that? What is that? Is that Australian? Sorry. Oh, damn, dude. Thank you for the fucking massive dono. Gee, enjoyment enthusiast. Jesus Christ. Thank you, brother. God damn. I really appreciate that, man. That's like, oh, I'm glad you like what I do. I'm really glad that, like, things I create and talk about can like resonate with people. I definitely way too far into it to stop doing it. It's crazy when you do something for so long. I've been taking myself serious. If I see myself first and foremost as a writer, I've been taking myself seriously as a writer for like years, and only now getting to the point where I feel like skilled enough to even refer to myself as like a writer is a crazy feeling. I don't know if I would call myself a good writer, but like I've developed a skill that is difficult to develop, and just how long it takes is fucking baffling. So I'm glad. I don't know. Happy that my work, I can act pragmatically to put something out in the world that is good to other people. That's anyway, man. I don't know. Thank you so much for the fucking dono. It's really great, man. I really appreciate that. Depth psychology operates this assumption of an underlying hidden self. Yeah, look, I mean my background in like philosophical thought primarily comes from Buddhism. And I think that's why I'm so like axiomatically against the idea of this true, like, you have character traits, you have things that you're going to have to push through that other people might not have, and you also have strengths other people might not have naturally, right? Again, if you are, someone who is a child of one of 7 children is probably going to naturally be more outspoken and more selfless than somebody who's an only child who might be more reserved and a bit more like egotistical, right? A firstborn and a lastborn are gonna have different personalities based on the circumstances of being raised, right? And in that sense, you can understand yourself. You can understand the context of your existence. But I think the idea that beneath it all, there is this like form of self-expression that you find through thinking about it. I think this is the big distinction too, is that you find yourself through action, right? You find your strengths and your value to the world through action. But just by thinking about it over and over and over again, that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist, right? Like if you're intelligent, if you're, I don't know, type B personality, reserved, intelligent, like you have a place on Earth, and like your place on Earth isn't going to be being a fucking leader. Your place on Earth is going to be like a behind the scenes person, right? I don't know. I'm just spitballing examples here. I agree. Being a writer is the hardest form of art because everyone is talking all day. So expression through text and speech is sort of devalued through its abundance. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to make a point, man. I'm glad. I mean, I fucking when I'm done writing something, half the time I don't even know what I said. And then like a bit after, I'll be like, okay, I understand now what I was getting at. Especially when you're editing too, because you write it and it's done, and you're like, okay, I see this, and then you edit, and then when you edit what you've written in the form of a video essay, and you hear it over and over and over again, it's like when I repeat a word over and over and over again, it loses its meaning. Like you stop understanding the word in context of like the English language. It's like that. Like I'll hear myself back. I'm like, what the fuck am I talking about? Like I don't even understand my point anymore. And then when I come back to the video, I'll be like, okay, I understand. Like I sort of get the gist of what I was trying to communicate with a pair of fresh ears. God, I love fucking vaping in the summer. Opinions on YouTube Shorts / ethics of short form content. Fuck, that's a tough one, man. I think it's so ingrained in our culture at this point. To fight against it is sort of impossible. Like, we've been doing a lot of shorts on Horseshoe Theory. I don't do shorts on my channel. I've been thinking about starting an Instagram series of Instagram Reels, because it's just like the way the world works. Like it's just the way the economy works. It's the way that like social media production works. You're just shooting yourself in the foot if you're not making short form media. Now is that a forever? Is that a long term strategy? I don't think it's a long term strategy. It's a short term strategy, right? If you can kind of like incubate massive growth and get eyes on what you're doing, and then have the wherewithal to scale what you're doing past just making Instagram Reels and past virality. If what you're doing truly has enough merit to exist in continuum outside of the Reel and Shorts ecosystem, that's what you should be concerned with. But you should see Reels and Shorts and TikToks as just a small piece of like the growth of your project, whatever it is. I don't like it. I don't think it's a good thing. If there was a vote tomorrow, a referendum that the public could vote in to ban short form media and vertical content, I would be first in fucking line to do that. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I have to, if I want what I'm doing to like get a bit of success and a bit of momentum, and if I believe in it, I believe in the ability, I believe in my work's ability to outlast and to be greater than just algorithmic virality, then I have to take part in the system. We are not created for any grander purpose than the ants that are there, the flies that are hovering around us, or the mosquitoes that are sucking our blood. Literally no, but narratively yes. I think the human ability to narrativize things is Can't be undersold. Anyway, I can't yap. I can't have a meta conversation about the concept of creativity. Let's watch Voidzilla. Cooking mustard greens, carrots, and rice, and steelhead trout tonight. Getting my health back. Hope it's all going well. Good, man. Good. Take care of your diet. Take care of your diet. It is it's one of those, it's one of the things, it's like the easiest thing you can do to change the quality of your life that you can pick at slowly. If you're drinking soda all the time, you can just, like, no one's asking you to fucking wake up tomorrow and eat a fucking kale and avocado salad with fucking salmon skin on it, man. If you're drinking soda all the time, just cut out soda and watch the difference in your life, you know? It's small. It's small changes, but it's really important. I ate 60 ounces of broccoli today and a shit ton of ricotta. Fuck yeah, ricotta is so good for you, man. That's pure protein. That's pure protein. Voidzilla. Fox Akimbo. Are they still talking about this guy? Are they still talking about this fucking what the fuck? Think before you sleep. What the fuck was this guy's name? Who was that horror? Who was that fucking horrible man? I always called him the worst man who ever lived. The horror movie YouTuber who tried to take down Wendigoon. You know, I always called him the Antichrist. When he went after Wendigoon like that, I was like, man, this might be the worst guy. There's Hitler, and there's the guy who tried to take down Wendigoon. How dare you try to take down fucking Wendigoon? That's horrible. Do diet soda. Also, yogurt is a great drink with something savory. Yogurt is a great drink. In Praise of Shadows, yes. Did he fucking ever come back? Did he ever bounce back? When the fuck? That was like, what was that, 10 years ago? When did this happen? That was like a decade ago, right? It was way back in the day. Yeah, I was still in high school when he turned. I remember the day. It was like they rolled the TV in when he went out when he went after Wendigoon, man. They rolled the TV into my classroom. They were like, "Hey, this random YouTuber went after Wendigoon. Can you believe that?" I was shocked. I remember I called my mom. My mom was so worried. She had called me first. I missed the call. I was calling my best friend to warn him. Yeah, tell him about what happened. My mom called me. She said, "Did you see In Praise of Shadows went after Wendigoon?" I said, "No, mom. I didn't see that. What the fuck are you talking about?" I had seen it. I wanted to make sure she was surprised. You know when your mom kind of repeats herself a lot and you don't tell her because you just like talking to your mom. I was doing that. Like I knew what was on. I wanted to give her the joy of telling me the news. Uh, so I was worried anyway. But yeah, this horrible man went after Wendigoon, and people are still talking about it. Is he still getting dislike bombed? Got a lot of dislikes. Yeah, man. How dare you? How dare you make a how dare you make a eat shit and live, bro? Hit a make or break moment and came with the other side stronger. Love this channel. You're killing it. Oh, good. Move past what happened. Oh, good. He's got support. I'm glad he's got support, man. Yeah, man. How dare you? How dare you make a takedown video on Wendigoon, you piece of shit. You fucking horrible garbage human being. Fuck you. You burn in hell and die. In Praise of Shadows, you stupid piece of shit. Fuck you. Go fucking get raped by a dog. Literally the Antichrist. That's what we were saying when they rolled the TV in the classroom. I said, man, this is the revelations just started. The revelations just started. This guy went after Wendigoon. Kind of still in Canada. Yeah, man, I live in Toronto. I like Wendigoon. Voidzilla. This.
It's all coming out today. The Wall Street Journal not only released an article, today they're getting sued as well for this article about Donald Trump's connection to Jeffrey Epstein. It's explosive. It's about a letter Trump sent.
Sorry, did anyone see this yet? Literally worse than Hitler. Loud. I just turned it down. The Trump letter. Did anyone see the Trump letter? Let's see. CBC sues Wall Street Journal. I'm gonna images here. There we go. I'll pull a Trump letter. Epstein. Where is it, man? Yeah, Trump sued the Wall Street Journal. Trump sues Murdoch for libel over Jeffrey Epstein story. Why the fuck would I go on that island? I didn't choose to go on that island, man. I was brought there. Jeff Epstein picked me up young. He was up for the fucking seafood festival out in Charlottetown. Up in Charlottetown, PEI. He was up for the fucking seafood festival, bud. And he says to me, and he had a sailor's hat on. And every Nova Scotian trusts a sailor. He was sort of, and it wasn't like an old-timey sailor. It was like one of those yellow sailor hats. Sort of like one of these. He had like a sailor's cap on. He came up to me. And I was 9. And you know, I was a credulous 9-year-old. I should have had my wits about me. But I was at the Charlottetown Seafood Festival. And, you know, he comes up dressed as a sailor and he says, how's it going, boy? He says, bud, how you fucking doing, bud? You're doing all right, bud. I said, oh, hello. And he goes, my name's Jeffrey McDonald. I got a fucking island. I got a fucking island, fucking 2 clicks out of here. You want to fucking come on my boat? And I said, yes, Jeff Epstein, the New York financier. He said, no, bud. Jeff McDonald. Jeff McDonald, I'm up from up the fucking ways, bud. I'm on fucking up the ways, about 10 clicks up the road, bud. Take a fucking right. Out in Bensington. You been to Bensington? Son, you been to Bensington, haven't you? I go, no, Jeffrey. No, Jeffrey. I haven't been anywhere yet. I'm just at the Charlottetown fucking seafood festival with my mother and my father. He goes, oh, son, I got a fucking, you like scallops? You like raspberry point oysters from fucking, from PEI, right? I go, oh, Jeffrey, yeah, I love raspberry point oysters. I love island pearl. I love 4 inches of pleasure. I love oysters. He goes, oh, come with me, son. I got a fucking island, a few clicks off the shore. We're gonna fucking take you down there, bud. Tons of oysters and scallops as far as you can fucking eat. And then next thing I know, I woke up and I was 18. It was blacked out. It was blacked out from 9 to 18. I woke up, I was on Little St. James, and he says, you passed the test, little Brogan. I was 18. They talked to me like I was a little boy the whole time, though. It was, Brogan, you passed the test. You get to join the club now. And I passed the test, Jeffrey. What was the test? He's like, oh. He was like, sort of like a Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory situation, where basically I had to get raped for 9 years straight and not tell anybody. In the same way Charlie, you know, couldn't steal, and he stole the gobstopper, but he put the everlasting gobstopper back on the desk. That was me. I didn't complain once. I never yapped. I never opened my fucking pie hole once. I just took it. And then he told me I passed the test and I got to join the club. I got to go to Dog Island. And that's where he showed me the stuff that other boys weren't allowed to see. Is Canada still boycotting American products because of the tariff situation? When I was in Vancouver in April, no bars carried U.S. whiskey, wine, etc. You're not Epstein material. Hey, man, you should have seen me back in the day. My eyes are a little green now. My eyes have went green as I've aged. But you should have seen me as a boy. I had big, beautiful. You could see the world in my eyes. You could see the whole world, like the way the astronauts see the world from the International Space Station. You could see the whole world in my eyes. They were captivating. I hypnotized anybody I talked to, and I wasn't even that smart. I wasn't even saying anything intelligent. I was talking about MythBusters and Mighty Machines. And they still, I'd hypnotize any adult. So I think that's why they brought me down there. And when I lost the blue in my eyes, when they fucked the blue out of my eyes and they turned green, that's when they brought me. That's when they invited me to the boys' club. Yeah, we are still boycotting. I can't get bourbon anywhere. And you know me, I'm a daily drinker. I'm a pint a day. I'm a pint a day alcoholic, and I can't get bourbon no more. I've had to resort to shit gin. Anyway, I cannot find this Epstein letter. Where is this Epstein letter? Trump letter to Epstein. I found it earlier today when I looked this up. Here it is. Here we go. I'll read what it says here. It's a little blurry. So the context of this, in 2003, if this is all news to you, sorry if I'm how the hell are you so thin if you're an alcoholic? I'm not thin, bud. Demoted to redhead with green eyes. Yeah, it's sad, man. I used to be blonde hair, blue eyes. They stole my Aryan genes from me. So in 2003, Jeffrey Epstein had a birthday party where Ghislaine Maxwell organized all of Jeffrey Epstein's friends to write a letter to Epstein for his birthday, and they put it in this big binder, sort of like a birthday roast, the way people on their birthday, they have some sort of ceremonial thing where all their friends, like suck his cock or something like that. It was sort of like that. Anyway, so Trump had wrote this letter to Epstein, and it's written in the form of a dialogue in a book. It's written in the form of a script. So there's some roles to play here. We'll go through. Voiceover. So this is the voiceover. Voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything. The note began. Donald. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey. Nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey. Yes, we do. Come to think of it. Donald. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey. As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. And then at the bottom, Trump. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday. And may every day be another wonderful secret. If that's not evidence that Trump is fucking teenagers, I don't know what is. The modern cartoon villain dialogue. Yeah, you couldn't have made it more like just the enigmas never age. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Yeah, anyway. The fucking, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Yes, I can't do a fucking, I'm trying to do Jewish New York. Yes, we do, come to think of it. As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Anyway, yeah, so this is a letter that Trump wrote to fucking Epstein. Anyway, the Wall Street Journal broke this story last night. What's up, JJ? But did the enigma hang himself? Perhaps. Jeffrey Epstein, the man who never dies. Anyway. Yeah, so this was broken by the Wall Street Journal last night. Trump is now suing the Wall Street Journal for $10 billion over defamation. And we're going to let CopyZilla, or Voidzilla, in this instance, break it all down.
To Epstein with supposedly a drawing of a naked woman by Trump, along with a little poem which talks about a wonderful secret that Jeffrey Epstein and Trump share. We will go through all the evidence because there's a lot to this. You are very silly if you jump to conclusions on a story this big with this wide of implications. Let's set the stage because we're going to take our time going through this. The president's behavior during the run-up to this Epstein file leak has been absolutely strange.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring.
You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because it's a lot of phony stuff.
You know, these files were made up by Comey. They were
This shit, I love the fucking made up by Comey, dude. Can I just pull up the, wait, where's the, just, one second. Bill Clinton massage. Yes. Just so you know, all of this here, all of these images, these are, yeah, Democrat, they made these up in 2002. In 2002, they made up these images from scratch to bring down Trump, who they knew would be elected 14 years later, and then again 8 years after that. So this has really been a 20-year-long con to make sure Trump's presidency would be an issue. Anyway, yeah. So Hillary Clinton wrote these fake messages. That's why she put her husband getting massaged by someone who was raped by Jeffrey Epstein in the thing. Anyway.
made up by Obama.
Even his supporters.
Shop One Blueprint? Sorry, is there any Balalago heads in here? Shop One Blueprint. Can I get some? Can I get some fucking? Can I get some W's in the chat for a Shop One Blueprint? That's pretty fat.
Are like, well, why is he acting this way? It's so weird. All of a sudden it goes from the files exist to they don't exist to they're a hoax actually, and there's a bunch of phony stuff in there. This article, if true, explains a lot of the strange behavior. And we don't know if there's more that's gonna come out, if this is all there is, but I'm gonna go through the main allegation, and I will call it an allegation because Trump is definitely gonna sue over this. He's already said as much. So here's basically the story. Supposedly, Ghislaine Maxwell collected letters from Trump and dozens of Epstein's associates for a 2003 birthday album. It was for his 50th birthday. Pages from the leather-bound album, assembled before Epstein was first arrested, are among the documents examined by the Department of Justice officials. So there are birthday letters to Epstein.
I'd fucking pay to see that whole album, man. Who else is in that album? Who else is in that fucking album, man? I want to see that so bad. Read that like Cat Williams. It's kind of amazing. Obama has become a boogeyman again. No, it's great, man. I think it's great. I think Obama and Biden. I just finished. Sorry, my fucking balls are getting squished in these goddamn fucking pants. I got the Carhartt pre-worked in double-kneed fucking carpenter's pants on. My balls are getting squished. Sorry, one sec. Give me 1 second here. Okay, we're good. Stolen valor. Stolen valor. Yeah, I was just talking. We just dropped a pod tomorrow, so we did not drop. I scheduled it. I just finished the time stamping for the new episode of Horseshoe Theory with the soy pill. Because we had done Taylor Lorenz. We did Vune last week. Yeah, so this week, coming up tomorrow at 12 is the soy pill. Great conversation. Funny guy. I love the soy pill. I'm fucking bullish on the soy pill. To be entirely frank with you, as a tour de force in the center-left liberal debate bro stream scene, because he's not insufferable. He's funny. I think a lot of these people aren't funny or charismatic in the slightest. Maybe Destiny's got undeniably good rhetoric skills. I think Bosch too has good like information recall. But no, soy pill's great. I'm very bullish on the soy pill. I think the soy pill will be a big deal in the coming years in that space. But we just dropped a podcast with the soy pill. And I asked him this too, because I was like, Biden and Obama have been a bogeyman for the Republicans for, like, they cannot shut the fuck up about it. And I was like, do you ever worry that Trump will be this boogeyman character for the left forever? Like in 15 years, in like the 2036 election, you know? God damn. In the 2036 election, a Democrat will win who will be harping on about Trump. And he said, I do, but it's warranted because, you know, Trump's Supreme Court justice picks, Trump's the machine that Trump has set in place will be in place for decades, and it is worth talking about Trump for that long. So that's sort of his opinion. I do worry that people aren't going to shut the fuck up about Trump, but you know, I don't know, man. It's been fucking, we're gonna have 12 years of Trump. It's been a decade of Trump. It's been a fucking decade of Trump. A decade of not a new face. It's been Donald Trump for a fucking decade. It's fucking clown. I'm a lefty who normally hates lefty buzzwords and culture. So soy pill's a breath of fresh air. Yeah, you know, he's a little dark woke. He'll say retard. Good. Fuck it, man. I don't know. Yeah, I like him. Anyway, the podcast is really good. Go to Horseshoe Theory. Subscribe to see the podcast tomorrow.
That supposedly have been seen by the DOJ. They have them in their files. And the one from Trump supposedly has a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. And the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist. The Wall Street Journal goes on to say it's not clear how the letter with Trump's signature was prepared. Inside the outline of the naked woman was a typewritten note styled as an imaginary conversation between Trump and Epstein. Voiceover: there's more to life than having everything. Donald: yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey: nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald: we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think of it. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. And the final line is,
I cannot get over the fucking enigmas never age. Google Amber Rose speaking at RNC and compare Revelation 17. Good person. Okay, good. Okay. Have a good night. Yeah, the enigmas never age line. I cannot get fucking over. He couldn't have implicated himself more with that fucking line. Jesus Christ.
a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Obviously, that is an insane thing to write to what later would be found out to be one of the world's most prolific but there's also two lines in there which are...
Can we say pedophile, please? Can we say pedophile and rape? Can we just start saying those words again? Is Voidzilla really gonna get demonetized if he doesn't bleep out the word pedophile? Like, it's sort of disrespectful to the severity of the fucking crimes if we can't just say the word. For the love of God, please. The next time I hear somebody on a podcast talking about something of dire consequences and severity, and they say PDF file and grape, I'm gonna fucking personally hang them. I'm gonna personally put them up against a wall and blow their brains out with elephant gauge, a 4-gauge shotgun, big balls that fucking eviscerate them. Jesus Christ, it's horrible. Like, the annoying part is too, it's not even the bro, you can't just say trigger warning. It's not even YouTube. YouTube's lax, man. YouTube is lax. You can say you can say a lot of things in a YouTube video that's not going to get taken down. The issue is TikTok, right? It's like, if you really want to be optimized in your content creation ecosystem, and you want to be clipped by third parties on TikTok to extend your virality, you can't say pedophile and rape, because on TikTok it won't happen. Anyway, it's ridiculous. It's so fucking annoying. Horrendous.
One, enigmas never age. That's just a strange line. It's a very incriminating sounding line. We don't know what it means exactly. And then also we see, may every day be another wonderful secret. Of course, this all written inside the outline of a naked woman kind of tells you what secret they may be talking about there. Now we're going to go over Trump's response, and then of course all the...
Oh yeah, Trump's response is fucking hilarious too. Trump's response is fucking hilarious, man.
Evidence, all the denials, what you may want to know before making up your mind. Like I said, this is not a story where you're going to want to snap to judgment. Even now, I think there's still a lot we need to see. But I want to go over Trump's response. He gave an interview with the Journal on Tuesday evening, and he denied writing the letter or drawing the picture. Quote, "This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story. I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women."
I never wrote a picture. Man, oh my God, dude. Trump, I came out on the Trump bashing, man.
Said, "It's not my language, it's not my words." He told the Journal he was preparing to file a lawsuit if it published the article. "I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else." What do we make of this? Before we jump into the evidence, before we jump into all the reactions, both public and of the people involved, let's just talk about what this could mean. The denial puts Trump in a very particular position. Because if it later comes out and turns out to be true, it's worth saying the Wall Street Journal did not publish a photo of the letter, which everyone's been asking for. There are a lot of reasons not to publish it. Maybe your source didn't allow it, but that's a huge part that could come out that changes the whole landscape of this, right? If it comes out, it's very devastating because you wouldn't lie about something like this if you thought it was no big deal, right? The denial actually implies a lot of bad things about what the letter could mean. If you weren't worried about a story like this, if you thought the letter was nothing, you wouldn't deny it. You would just give no comment. You certainly wouldn't give an interview. So now we're going to talk about the reactions of the people involved, because it's worth saying Trump is not the only letter mentioned in here. And I think that's really important because in a story like this, you want to look to what could be corroborating evidence. So Alan Dershowitz is cited in the piece having written a letter that included a mock-up of a Vanity Unfair magazine with mock headlines of "Who was Jack the Ripper? Was it Jeffrey Epstein?" Alan, a former lawyer for Epstein, does not deny this. He says, "It's been a long time, and I don't recall the content of what I may have written." Lex Wexner also supposedly had a letter in there. He declined to comment. Supposedly his letter was, "I wanted to get you what you want, so here it is." After the text was a line drawing of what appeared to be a woman's breast.
There's just something so, look, man. There's something so endearing about just a bunch of horn dogs hanging out. Just a bunch of fucking rich men being like, the fact that there's a bunch of abhorrent fucking acts involved is horrible. Horrible, horrible. You heard it here first. These things are bad. But the concept of a bunch of like men in there. Wait, Jeffrey Epstein was 66 when he died. Or is he 61? How old was Jeff Epstein? How old was Jeff Epstein, the famous New York financier? 66. He was 66 in 2019. So that means in 66, 56, 46 in 1999. That means it was his 50th birthday. This all comes out. So the idea of a bunch of horny 50-year-old men just giving each other pictures, just giving each other hand-drawn images of tits and writing crude notes is funny in a vacuum. I think that's endearing in a vacuum. The context makes it horrible. I hope when I'm 50, my friends are just sending me Sharpie drawings of tits that say like, "Love you, bro. Happy birthday. Happy 50th."
And then we have a former assistant who was not cited, who sent Jeffrey a letter. "Oh, Jeffrey of Jeffrey, everyone loves you. Fun in the sun. Fun just for fun." Pretty innocuous. And then, of course, we have Donald Trump, who denies, of course, the whole thing. So we have some non-denials, some people who just didn't respond, and then we have Trump. Trump's the only one who's firmly denying this letter so far, with him doubling down on Truth Social, saying, "It's not my words, it's not the way I talk. Also, I don't draw pictures. I told Rupert Murdoch it was a scam and he shouldn't print this fake story, but he did, and now I'm going to sue him and his third-rate newspaper." Now, a couple comments quick on that. One, the Wall Street Journal is not a third-rate newspaper. It's also not a super left-leaning newspaper. Not that that should matter in journalism, but I know people's media literacy, that stuff kind of does kind of tip off their signals. It's unlikely they're going to publish something they know they're going to get sued for unless they have something. And so here's where I want to talk about a little bit of the circumstantial stuff. So Trump obviously states, "I don't draw pictures," but turns out that's kind of not true. So in a book called Never Give Up, Trump wrote, each year I donate an autographed doodle to the Doodle for Hunger auction at Tavern on the Green. It's a great event. And sure enough, publicly you can find several doodles that Donald Trump has done. Most of these are of skylines, architecture. None of these are of women. Still, it's strange to say I don't draw pictures when you very clearly draw pictures and they appear to be in thick marker, which is what you were accused of drawing them in. Now, none of that means anything, but it just reminds me a little bit of the Prince Andrew denial. I don't know if you guys remember the sweat denial. A big part of the interview with Prince Andrew was the denial that he couldn't have done anything bad because he couldn't sweat. So this supposedly falsified Virginia Giuffre's whole story.
I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time.
So yeah, that was kind of this claim like, hey, this couldn't be true because I don't do X, but actually we see that Prince Andrew actually does sweat.
If you didn't sweat, you'd like people who don't sweat are really fat. If you don't sweat, you're like fucked up looking. You don't just not sweat. Oh man, that's a fucked up image. Okay, let's get enough of that. Anyway, yeah, you'd be fucked up. Cool shirt, love that band. Hey man, thank you man. I love fucking Choking Victim as well. Great band. Ooh, I love Choking Victim. Crack Rock Steady. When I lived in Ottawa, and I had no friends, Greg left me. J-Reg, the very same, left me for Vancouver. I dropped out of art school and I had no friends. And looks really black metal. It's like a ska punk band. It looks very heavy, but it's like an anarchist ska punk band from New York from the mid 90s. I would drink and skateboard around Ottawa by myself and listen to Choking Victim, and that was like my favorite activity. Is I would just drink beer alone and skateboard for hours. I would like literally skateboard around Ottawa for hours by myself, and listen to Choking Victim. Cool dude. I met their producer. Their producer's a fan of the show.
And in the same way, it's not perfect proof, but you really shouldn't say you don't draw pictures when being accused of drawing thick black marker pictures when you definitely draw pictures sometimes. I mean, it's just, and it's public. I mean, that's just kind of just an obvious, devastating hole in your whole argument. Now, again, I've got to say, this is just the basics. We do not have the letter, okay? I'm relying on the Wall Street Journal's reporting on this, and we're corroborating with different pieces of public evidence. Ultimately, we need to see if this was actually in the Epstein files. But there are some other stuff, too, that we can look to corroborate this story. So we can look at the bookbinder. So, in the Wall Street Journal report, we see a very specific and interesting corroboration. It says the book was put together by the New York City bookbinder Herbert Weitz, according to people involved with the process. Weitz listed Epstein as a client on his website in 2003. So here we have a chance to corroborate externally. Of course, it's not a full corroboration, but we have a chance to look to see, was it actually on his website, right? So if we go to the archive, we see in 2003 at weitzcoleman.com, we see a client list, and we see Jeffrey Epstein is listed on it with a different spelling of Jeffrey, I should note. And this says people for whom we have bound up books and albums. This is another piece of circumstantial evidence that makes it hard to believe it's just fully made up. Now, you can believe something in the middle. You can believe that the letter exists and the Wall Street Journal saw it and somebody invented it, right? Like, there are a lot of options here, but the idea that, okay, the Wall Street Journal is just fully inventing this story. They're releasing something with literally no evidence. They're just fabricating it all, but citing all these different people, citing third-party stuff that you can fact check publicly. That's a piece of evidence to think about. Now, we're going to talk about the public reactions to this. We have Caroline Levitt, the press secretary, saying the Wall Street Journal published a hatchet job with a fake birthday letter that's supposedly from 2003. This is like the Steele dossier that kickstarted the Russia hoax all over again. The Wall Street Journal refused to show us the letter and conceded they don't even have it in their possession when we asked them to verify the alleged document they're basing their entire fake story on. Then you have Dan Wolkin saying the amount of people who think publications, the scope of the Wall Street Journal, just put explosive stuff out about a public figure without well-established authentication procedures and running it through a team of lawyers.
Oh my god. Charlie fucking Kirk. Suck my fat cock and die. Do I have him muted? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Unsealed grand jury testimony in Epstein's case. Blah. Where is that tweet? Where is that tweet, Charlie? Where did you tweet that? Where did you tweet that? Breaking. Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi. Here we go. Here's some Twitter. This is Charlie Kirk reposting JD Vance about the Donald Trump Epstein letter. Forgive my language, but this story is complete and utter bullshit. The Wall Street Journal should be ashamed for publishing it. Where is this letter? Would you be shocked to learn they never showed it to us before publishing it? Does anyone honestly believe this sounds like Donald Trump? And then here we go, Charlie Kirk, here we go, from Colin Rugg. Colin Rugg's whole thing. Just in, the Wall Street Journal releases the alleged letter from Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday. President Trump says the letter is a fake thing. Blah blah blah. That's not me. This is a fake thing. I've never wrote a picture in my entire life. Charlie Kirk said, "This is not how Trump talks at all. I don't believe it." Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, I got 70 concurrent right now. Charlie, if you're watching. If you're watching, Charlie, I want you to know that there was a world where you, Charlie Kirk, were a bright young man with passion and moxie and gumption and will. Where you worked hard, you're a good Christian boy. We know you pray. We know you did your confession. We know you did your. Is he Catholic? What is this? Is Charlie Kirk fucking Catholic or Protestant? One sec. Let me get my story straight here. Kirk, Catholic, evangelical Christian. Sorry, I should know that. I don't know what evangelicals do. Charlie, we know you're a good boy. And there was a world, Charlie. He's a young man. I'm 27. I think Charlie Kirk's like 33. Charlie Kirk's a young man. Charlie Kirk's not that old. There was a world where Charlie did well. Where Charlie wrote books. He got off the social media virality click. And he worked hard. Wrote good books. Became a decent political theorist. A decent pundit. And Charlie, your whole future's gone. Charlie, you've lost your entire future. You've flushed. You've completely eviscerated any chance you had of respect in your field. You're nothing. You've destroyed your fucking career. Everyone laughs at you, Charlie. You're a joke. Nobody takes you seriously. Nobody. Isn't that fucked up? Imagine being the man who has it all. Imagine being the man who has it all. You have the money, you have the status, you have the audience, you have the connections, the networks, and nobody takes you seriously. Most of your interactions outside of your immediate circle are people berating you, making fun of you, making fun of the way you look, the way the things you say. No one takes you seriously. Imagine that. Imagine being Elon Musk. Imagine how depressing that would be. thinking I won at life. I did everything right, and everyone fucking hates me. He was massive. Charlie really did blow it. Probably lost touch with his base. He was massive. Charlie Kirk sold his future. Chud Kirk sold his future for short-term game. Yes, it's true. It's true, chat. He sat on a plane to Greenland with JD Vance to colonize it. He was thinking back to the days of General Custer. He was thinking, Greenland, the land of Eskimos and seal. I can't wait to get me some. You know what they say in Full Metal Jacket. Eskimo pussy's mighty cold. I can't wait to rape and pillage this land like General Custer. I'm a frontiersman. I'm a pioneer. I'm here with the vice president. And he got to Greenland and he realized, fuck, they're just watching TikToks over here. They all speak. What are they? They speak English over there. What do they speak in Greenland? Inuit? I don't know what they speak in Greenland. He got over there. He realized it wasn't always cracked up to be. He realized those people are already settled. So what did he do? He pivoted to Twitter. He pivoted to be he's a Trump sycophant. All he had to do was grift the right-wing fence post on Epstein. I know. All he had to do. And he didn't do it. Greenlandic? There's no way they speak Greenlandic. I don't believe that. Anyway, Charlie, if you're listening, you've destroyed your future. You've destroyed any chance you had of being taken seriously at all in your entire life. No one will ever take you seriously. You'll always feel insecure. It will never go away. And your life's a joke. And all you had to do was say that. All you had to do was call a pedophile. Once, all you had to do was call a pedophile, and you couldn't do it. What, JD Vance is gonna get angry at you? It actually is Greenlandic. LOL. Good luck with the stream. Thank you, Dr. Feelbetter. Imagine only Benny Johnson has to be the most insufferable. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole the Trump sycophants. There's a whole group of them. And they're all abhorrent. They're all demons, man. They're all demons from another dimension. We operate on morality here on the ArtChad stream. We operate on pure morality. We operate on being nice guys, acting pragmatically, making sure we're doing good things for our community, making sure we're helping the homeless, man. When the homeless don't whip their cocks out, I have this rule of thumb I follow. If I see a homeless guy more than once in my neighborhood, and I don't see him litter, I don't hear him scream the N-word, I don't see his dick, I don't see him take a shit on the ground, I don't see him harass people, and I don't see him beg for money in exchange for nothing, I'll give him anything he wants. I've picked up, you know, I'll go to the fucking liquor store, and I'll pick up a case of beer, and I'll pick up a second case of beer for the homeless guy outside. Okay? I'll go to a restaurant, I'll get a shawarma bowl with a side and a drink. I'll bet a second one for him. For a homeless guy. The second I see his cock, the second I see that little pissy stream coming from his little wee homeless cock into the alleyway, and then the alleyway's fine, man. I've pissed outside. I think the best of us have. Yeah, the worst of us, the best of us, we've all pissed outside. But when I see when I see the dick, that's when I get angry. When I see the dick is when I get really upset. And that's when I start getting genocidal. I start get straight up fucking eugenic, man. I see the homeless and I think these people need to be culled like dogs in the street. I see a group of homeless people. I think these people need to be rounded up and burned. Piss outside, horseshoe. The best and worst of us pissed outside. It's true. Anyway, we're moral on the ArtTrad stream. And if you're here, just know that no one will ever think you're a joke. There is no future where there's no future where you watching me are laughed at for the rest of your natural life because you look funny and say dumb things. If you're here, you're a good person.
Know literally nothing about journalism. Charlie Kirk says, this is not how Trump talks at all. I don't believe it. Referring to the actual letter's contents. Specifically, people picked up on the idea that Trump says enigma in the writing of it. In fact, Trump writing at all, some people find that hard to believe. JD Vance says, forgive my language, but this story is complete and utter bull. The Wall Street Journal should be ashamed of publishing it. Where's the letter? Would you be shocked to learn they never showed it to us before publishing it? Does anyone honestly believe this sounds like Donald Trump? Of course, then you have a response to that where somebody says, Carson's an enigma to me. This is clearly debunking the idea that the word enigma is not in Trump's vocabulary.
Now, Carson's an enigma to me.
So that clearly debunks the idea that he couldn't have written this because enigma wasn't in his vocabulary. It actually is. So from where I'm sitting, the letter is odd, but it also is in line with some of these other letters from people like Lex Wexner. It's also in line with some of the doodles that Trump has publicly made. And it is also in line with Trump's recent odd behavior with the Epstein files, where he keeps setting up the idea that there's this big hoax coming, that there's phony stuff in there. And that actually is the most persuasive piece of evidence, Trump's own behavior in this weird meltdown, more than anything which has convinced me. Because on the one hand, there are some things which would tilt in the favor of it not being Trump, right? The very fact that it's a letter, the prose of the letter is a bit strange. And then you also have the fact that, okay, if the DOJ had this during the Biden years, why didn't it come out, right? So that's all pretty compelling until you once again just look at the way Trump has been behaving. I think it strongly suggests that Trump saw something in the Epstein files, was debriefed on something that he was worried about. Whether it was this letter or something else, I don't know. But clearly there's something in those files that he was concerned about being involved with. I think we need a full declassification of these files, except for the CSAM and victims. Now, to the declassifying comment, Donald Trump, based on this, has posted, based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, I have asked AG Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. This scam should end right now. And Pam Bondi has said, President Trump, we are ready to move on the court tomorrow to unseal the grand jury transcripts. I think that ultimately it needs to be everything or nothing. You can't give a little bit at this point. With the
Yeah, that's where I'm confused on what is going to be in the jury jury testaments, grand jury transcripts. I don't understand what is going to be in the fucking transcripts that is going to be so savory. The whole thing with the client, I don't know, right? Like, am I someone in the chat maybe drop a hint? I don't know what could possibly be. Somebody brighter than me can answer this question. What could possibly be in the jury transcripts that would be savory and novel information in this entire situation? I don't think Trump. Joe Downing. I don't think Trump is. I don't think he has enough smart people on his team. I think maybe he used to. I think when he was getting started, he had a lot of intelligence. I think Steve Bannon would be a great example of somebody who is truly Machiavellian enough to spin such a tale. To spin such a tale in a way that would make Trump come out on top. I don't think he has enough smart people left who are truly that media savvy to come up with a narrative like, Trump was actually was on the inside doing like espionage against Epstein and blah 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 and fabricate this whole story. I don't see that happening personally, so I don't know. It'd be the smart move. I don't see it happening though. Probably not much. They probably won't mention Trump. They're trying to appease the public. It'll only make them more angry. Yeah, true. What flavor of vape? Pina colada. Man, I love a fucking gay little vape flavor. I'm a gay little guy. I love my gay little vape flavor. Also, I'm down. Oh, man. You know how long it's been? You know how long it's been since I've had... See this? See how I move my mouth and there's a line that separates my cheek and my jaw? It's been so long since I've seen that. It's been so long since I've seen that line. Nicotine, of course, man. I'm fucking thrive off nicotine. I remember the first time I smoked a cigarette. I remember the first time I smoked a cigarette, man. My very first time. My friend, Kevin, in grade 10, we were outside for lunch hour in a parking lot. And I'll show you my high school. I'll show you my high school, man. because we were outside in this parking lot. Every good high school has a shitty parking lot that you like smoke weed and kill yourself in. You fucking go out and blow your fucking brains out all over the fucking gravel, the unfinished gravel parking lot, and then no one finds you for fucking days. That's the best place to be. Where the fucking ass is my high school? Right here. There's some wretched dome here now. Okay, ignore this dome. 1 sec. See more dates. Let's go 2015. 2009. There we go. Yeah, this parking lot right here. This parking lot right here. There's my high school. There's the parking lot, the dirt parking lot. And we'd go out back, and he pulled out a pack of Honey Times cigars. Yeah, there they are. The bastards. He pulled out a pack of Honey Times. And he had the grape flavor. There they are right there. He had the Honey Time grape. And he pulled them out and he's lit one. I remember thinking, fuck, you know, I'm straight. I'm straight. And I watched my friend Kevin light a cigar, and I thought, fuck, I've never wanted to fuck my friend more than I do right now after he just lit this beautiful grape flavored Honey Time cigar. And he whips one out and he says, "You want one?" I stole these from my dad. "You want one?" I said, "Of course I do." Well, I'm going to say no and embarrass myself in front of my best friends in the whole wide world? Of course I do. So I lit it. I remember taking that first puff in, and the grape flavor just spreading across my taste buds. That artificial grape flavor locked within the filter. All across my mouth, coating it like a beautiful Bordeaux, like a first growth Bordeaux. And I thought, wow, I know what I'm doing for the rest of my life. And that's how I started smoking. And since that day when I was 15 years old, I smoked all throughout high school. And there was a hierarchy. There was a hierarchy, right? Because if you smoked Canadian classics, here they are. Here we are. Here's the classic. If you smoked Canadian classics, now for the Americans, the Australians, and the Europeans, and anybody else who isn't Canadian in this chat, this may come as a surprise to you. Canada has its own ecosystem of cigarettes. Canadian classics. This is the kind of cigarette you smoked if you were poor. If you were a poor dirt person, and your dad gave you cigarettes when you were 10 years old, you smoked Canadian classics. So if you were like, you know, your parents are also brother and sister, like your parents are cousins in rural Nova Scotia, you pulled out of Canadian classics. Also, Next Blue cigarettes. This is another one as well. Next Blue. These as well. Canadian classic blues and Next Blues. You smoked if you were impoverished and you've been smoking since you were 10 years old because you lived in a trailer with your fucking aunts and uncles and your grandmother. Now, if you smoked these, and this is what I smoked. If you smoked McDonald's Reds, that meant you picked up smoking in high school. And if you picked up smoking in high school, you usually did it because you were cool, because you were a cool guy. And I used to hang out with the art hose, with the coke dealers and the art hose and the baddies and the punks and the skaters. That was my crew. We were the coolest guys in school. You didn't fuck with us. You didn't mess around with us. If you wanted your head bashed in, you came knocking. You know, we were fucking around. So we smoked McDonald's specials, the red ones. These ones right here on screen. And I tossed those back, man. I tossed those back through grade 10, grade 11, grade 12. And I remember the first day I moved out of Truro to Halifax to start university. I remember watching my mom and dad leave in the van, leaving me alone in a parking lot outside of the residence of my my new university where I was staying in Halifax. First thing I did, with my freedom, I took my debit card, I walked on down to the Ultramar, to the gas station. I said, "Hey man, McDonald's special, 25 king size. He said, yes, sir. Pulled them out. I've never smoked more in my life. The freedom of being able to smoke cigarettes without your parents around, without having to hide it, without having to wash your hands afterwards. You can reek your clothes, your hands, your breath. You can just fucking reek of cigarettes. I smoked, oh my God, I remember that day so vividly. I went and I got Fax beer, Fax extra strong. I was 18 years old. I was drinking this. Fax extra strong, 10%, horrible beer. If this is a degree warmer than freezing, you gag when you drink it. It's absolutely fucking disgusting grog. It's a hogwash. But and they were $4 a can, and like 6, as an 18-year-old boy, man, 6 cans of this shit get you inebriated, get you fucking blackout. I remember sitting outside in this parking lot by myself with a 6-pack of Fax, 10% extra strong, and a whole pack of McDonald's Reds, 25-pack king size. I was on top of the phone. I was just calling people. I couldn't help myself. I was called my best friend. I called all my friends. I called my sister. I called anybody who would pick up the phone. I was just elated with the freedom I had. I sat there, and I didn't even move. I sat up against a wall, up against a stone wall outside of this parking lot. I would just whip my dick out and piss when I had to piss. I didn't even move. I didn't even find a corner. I would just piss on the sidewalk and drink and smoke and call people for 5 hours straight. It's like you give a boy. I was in Pleasure Island. I was Pinocchio on Pleasure Island. It was beautiful, man. Now I do keto and I'm sober. Now all I do is cocaine and mushrooms. And I eat a keto diet, and I go and I get excited when I PR my 5K, and when my ecom YouTube income is higher than I expected. I get excited, and I put it in my high interest TFSA, and I go, yippee, whoa, holy fuck, I have extra $500 this month. That's going right in the TFSA. That's what I get excited about now. So I don't know, man. Am I happier? Absolutely. Do I miss it? You bet your bald ass I do.
The level of allegations being leveled against our president, that he would send pretty incriminating letters to the world's most notorious pedophile. Now, again, before he was arrested the first time, right? But given the letter's contents, given that they're doing so much, they're going to be suing the Wall Street Journal over this, to deny it, I think, if it turns out to be true, is devastating. I mean, totally devastating and horrific, and no one should defend it if it's true. And that's what we need to find out at this point. So I think the answer is clearly that, yes, I would love the Wall Street Journal to release this photo if they have it in their possession, if they can release it from their source. And I would love for the DOJ to declassify the actual relevant pieces of this whole thing, because the absolutely central piece of evidence in this whole story are these letters, which are in a leather-bound album and supposedly in the DOJ's possession. That's clearly not going to be a grand jury transcript. That's going to be one of the pieces of evidence they collected from Epstein or Maxwell. And so that is a different category altogether. So I think given that, it's hard to see this as anything other than a distraction from what is actually relevant here, which is, does this album exist? Yes or no? Show us the evidence, right? Show us the physical evidence. Instead, this is just going to get people riled up because it's an Epstein release, but it's guaranteed by definition not to have the evidence one way or another. A transcript is not going to have a piece of physical evidence. And we need to demand answers on that, because either it exists or it doesn't. And if it does exist, that's a huge problem. If it doesn't, for the Wall Street Journal, that's a huge problem. And I'm really not sure which we are going to get first. All I know is that if you are looking from the outside, I would highly recommend that you don't just dismiss things based on a quick, hot Twitter take. There's a lot to this story that is corroborating, and also we need more evidence on before we can really make up their mind. I see a lot of people have just already written it off as completely true or completely false. I think they're not thinking through the implications of, if this is true, how really crazy it would be if we live in that world. And then also the people who are dismissing it as false right away, you're not really thinking through, like, you might be defending a right? That is one of the outcomes that could be true here. We don't know. And again, even if it is true, we don't know what is meant by things like, may every day be another wonderful secret. When calling Jeffrey Epstein a pal, we wouldn't know what that meant, but yeah, it's just stunning. So this report, you absolutely have to watch it. We're gonna have a lot more in the coming days to try to validate it or falsify it, and we'll see which one happens first. And yeah, that's pretty much all I'm prepared to say at this moment.
I'm sick of these people. I'm sick of these jokers, man. I'm sick of these clowns. What do we got here? Man, fuck YouTube, dude. We got the American Redact. What is this channel? 63,000 subs. Oh, look. Another channel blowing up out of nowhere, taking down comedians. Lucrative business right now. Lucrative business to just start taking down comedians. What we got here? We started last year. Joe Rogan's finally done with Brandon Schwab, the funniest guest in Kill Tony history. Yes, good commentary on the comedy scene, but only the Joe Rogan comedy scene. That's what we need more of on YouTube. The political grift is over. Whistleblower drops new evidence on Brandon Schwab's lawsuit. Theo Von isn't what he seems. Kill Tony bombs massively in Nashville. Yes, that's what we need more of on YouTube. I know when I go to YouTube, I'm always on the lookout for commentary on commentary. And we have another video from Fox Akimbo on about In Praise of Shadows getting canceled. Yes. Yes, please and thank you. Oh my God. God Christ Almighty. I'm so sick. Joe Rogan tells all about his support for Trump. Now that I'm interested in. Now that I'm fascinated.
So it looks like Joe Rogan,
Kyle Kalinske, please. That I'm interested in.
Did an interview here with the Ultimate Human. I guess this is a Daily Caller affiliated podcast, and he basically gets asked here about his support for Trump, about why he decided to interview Trump, knowing it would help him and all that stuff, and he sort of tells all about what led him to effectively be a little Trump sycophant. So let's watch this and we'll break it down as we go.
There was a bunch of things that happened. First of all, there was the lawfare. There was these lawsuits that they were trying to pin on him. They were trying to convict him and turn him into a felon, and they were doing it so blatantly and obviously. The case with the bookkeeping error, or the bookkeeping, whatever it was, a misdemeanor that they had charged him with 34 felonies for, which isn't even a felony. Okay. It's a misdemeanor. And it's also contribution. Exactly. It's also past the statute of limitations. None of it made any sense.
I love this because here he's saying the fact that Trump is a criminal and was under 91 different criminal investigations, 91 crimes is what he committed, right? Rogan viewed that as an indictment of the justice system, as an indictment of the legal community, as an indictment of, the DAs who are prosecuting him and going after him. And all I have to say in response to that is, you and I both know, Rogan didn't do any fucking reading on those cases at all.
Do I like Joe Rogan? Joe Downing. I did see that. I did see Sam on the Harlan podcast. I found that really interesting, actually. Very funny. I don't know. I'm back and forth so often on MDE and on Sam Hyde. I sort of like his new wave he's been on, where he's a little less of a character. He's a little less of an Andy Kaufman. And there seems to be like a man inside. I like when he talks about, like, Fish Tank is really good. The stuff I've seen from the new MDE series, like the clips I've seen of Charles's skits, are really funny. The one where he's in the pool as the streamer on the date is just like, it's genius. It's funny. It's interesting. It's creative. I'm really coming back around on Sam Hyde in a way that I didn't think I would, because I was very sick of like Sam's just seeing him live. I'm just I'm sick of the like race humor. Like the racial shock humor just isn't funny because it's so overdone. Charles is the best skit writer. Yeah, Charles is fucking hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. I think that Sam on the Harlan thing was also really funny as well. played very well by the podcast host as well. I think the whole thing was excellent. Do you like Joe Rogan, Art Chat? I have not listened to Joe in so long. Connor O'Malley is funnier. Connor O'Malley is funnier than Sam Hyde. I think Connor O'Malley is such a genius, he can't be famous. Like Sam knows how to market himself. Connor's too good. Like Connor's too funny. I think Connor's too avant-garde and funny to like market himself correctly. I think he's too out there. I think it's like not palatable enough. For most people. Yeah, anyway, he's the GOAT. I used to watch Joe a lot. I've stopped watching Joe a little bit. I'm just not interested in his guests. One second. Let me. Who's he had on recently? Let me pull my Spotify up here real quick. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, look at me! I was listening to the Misfits. Isn't that quirky and special of me? Joe Rogan. Who has he had on recently? I feel like his podcast. Who's he? We got James Talarico. I don't know any of these people. Lucas Nelson, Danny Jones, Paul Starnetz, Jim Limpy, Roman Yamplotsky, Joe Pistine, Jim Norton, Bernie Sanders again, June 24th. He's coming back around. Oliver Anthony again. Yeah, no, I like he's getting better. I just think his podcast became like the concept of this extended universe of fighters and comedians I just got sick of. Way too sick of. But, you know, I don't know. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts. When I listen to podcasts, it's usually like very short burst like news stuff. I don't know. I don't listen to podcasts very often, so I should more. The fact that I have one and don't engage with podcasts very frequently, I should listen to more podcasts. I should watch more video essays too. I don't watch video essays, if you can believe it or not. For somebody who basically makes video essays, I don't watch any, which is foolish of me, because I should watch more video essays. One thing I've noticed, and let me tell, you know, maybe this isn't the best sample size because it's not like a wide audience that watches my videos that are just like watching the streams. But one thing I've noticed, if I watch a horse's video, he's a goat of mine for good video essays. The voice.
This video was made possible by Ground News. Hey everyone, it's Michael. What you're about to see is a
That's what he looks like?
very censored version of the original video. For the full, you'll find sit down like they were laughing at me. One of the police was telling me to crawl in Arabic, so I crawled on my stomach, and the police were spitting on me when I was crawling and hitting me. Then the police started me on my kidneys, and then they hit me on my right ear, and it started and I lost consciousness. A few days before they hit me on my ear, the American...
See, he's got a good, the voice is really important. And I've noticed in my videos that I don't have the voice. I don't try to have the voice for the stuff I make. And I want to practice some speech, do some speech therapy. Because I've noticed, my newest video, I don't talk slow enough. I talk too fast. And I, get into this rambly sort of rhythm when I speak. Mostly because I fucking hate filming. Filming, if you've ever done any... filming is the absolute worst part of the fucking job. I hate filming. So much. Your Canadian accent... I can play the Canadian accent up a little bit while still speaking, slower and more deep. And talking with a bit more speaking with a bit less urgency in my voice and a bit more of like a nice cadence. Like I can do that. I just also, when I'm filming and like reading the script, by minute 10 of that process, where like I'm sitting in front of camera for like 2 hours talking and reading things and fucking up lines over and over again, I get to a point where I get so aggressive, I just start rambling really fast, and I'm like, Uranus Bosch was born in the Netherlands between 1491 and 1516, and he painted his best works in 1516. I get very, very fast and rambly. It's very annoying, and my voice gets really high because I have a naturally deep voice, and my day-to-day speaking voice with people is like I have a very deep, booming voice. But then when I'm doing content, it's like I just end up talking like this and like really fast, blah 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 blah, like really nasally and fast. So, I could watch it. Let me see, like Solar Sands.
In the year 2000, artist Marco Evaristi presented Helena, which, among other things, consisted of 10 blenders with live goldfish swimming in each of them. The work was originally part of an exhibition called I Go Black. Visitors were told they could turn on the blenders if they wanted to. Evaristi believes there are 3 types of person: the sadist, the voyeur, and the moralist. If a person is a sadist, they will press the button on the blender because they are able to do so.
See, it's a distinct. I mean, like Solar Sands is definitely more nasally than me, but it's a different kind of cadence that lends itself to like orating an essay that I need to practice. I think my most recent video would have been good of me to. I like the enthused voice. I'm an enthused person, but I'm enthused all the time. I think that's the difference. I'm doing like meta game myself right now. But if let's say for that video, the first 3 minutes, I was speaking very slowly and enunciating all of my words and adding a rasp to the end of my sentences. And ending, a big thing too with good speech is ending a sentence on a down. I didn't do it right there, because when you end a sentence on an up, it makes you sound less sure of yourself. It makes you sound less interested. It makes you sound like you're not really sure of what you're saying. You know what I mean? Like if I do that, it sounds like I'm talking out of my ass. If I say like ending your sentences on a down note makes you sound more sure of yourself. It makes you sound more educated and more erudite on the topic you're discussing. You know, there's a different vibe to it. There's a lot of skill to speaking that I don't think that you don't really like appreciate. Oh, what's up, Internet Ugly? There's a lot of skill to speaking that like you wouldn't know unless you looked into it. But then once you recognize the pattern of effective speaking, you can't unsee it. I really want to, like, in my next video, focus on the delivery, really, really heavy on the delivery. I did that in my last video. My last video was, I didn't use J-cuts at all. Usually a lot of my videos I use J-cuts. Like if you watch the Goonification video is a great example, because I did that. I spoke so fast and then J-cut it. So it's like there's literally not a break in between any words I'm saying. But if I just spoke slower and enunciated more, and I think the delivery would be a bit better. I thought this video had the opportunity to be a great piece for reflection, but he didn't do a good job selling his points. Interesting. I haven't seen it yet. That's what I mean. I don't watch video essays. I should really I watch, if I'm falling to sleep, I only watch YouTube when I'm falling asleep. Genuinely. And I watch fucking Balatro videos and real life lore. It would be good of me, and I have to start doing this, taking the time. The Gooning video almost gave me a stroke. I mean, I was self-aware. I knew what I was doing. I was like, okay, I'm going to make this video about like goon culture, then also make the video part of the problem. That was an intentional artistic choice. But I should take time, like an hour a day, to like go to my favorite like video essayists whose work I've watched in the past and be like, okay, what are their best videos? Why are these videos so good? Like, what is working about these videos? Is it the thumbnail title? I mean, obviously it's the cacophony of the entire thing. It's not just like a thumbnail and title. It doesn't make a great video. But understanding what the skill is that I need to learn, because obviously, like, again, this video just came out. It might still take off. I'm bullish on it. A lot of my videos are slower burns, but like, I don't know. You know, I have 100K subs. I should be getting more than 14,000 views in a day. And this is a good video, and like, you know, I'm gonna lean more into it. I'm gonna try more and focus on that stuff more. What else is out here? Iran versus Israel. New Gatsu video. Here's one, like, right? Like, here's a video I would make. The most macabre painting in art history. 8 minutes long. 800,000 views 8 months ago, right? Like, what?
One afternoon.
What is it about this video that did well? And it's, I think anybody, especially anybody trying to... I'm not doing meta commentary on YouTube. Don't let me do that. I fucking hate doing that because it's so easy to talk out of my fucking ass. But you see this video, right? Great thumbnail. Raises a question immediately. Like, you understand what is good about this. You understand why it's been clicked on.
You should also watch their worst performing videos and figure out the pattern in what makes something bad, and see what is reflected in your work. Not just the good.
Great idea. Great idea. I will do that, actually. I'm gonna write this into my schedule. I will pick a video essayist, and I will watch their best, like their 2 best and their 2 worst performing videos, and then discern what I can glean from the information I've acquired. Because you see this. Most macabre painting in art history. Good title, good thumbnail. Click on it. What happens when you click on it?
One afternoon in August 1672.
Like, I've had videos fail because I do a bit in the intro. Bad practice. Don't do a bit in the intro. If you want to do a bit, save the bit. The opening needs to, like, suck you in fucking immediately. Bits are funny. And, like, I've done objectively funny bits in videos, but the video, you don't, like the Klarna video, right? You don't know what the fucking video is about because there's a minute in the bit's funny, but it's a long, there's a 90-second bit in the beginning. That's bad practice.
One afternoon in August 1672, Johan de Witt walks through the gates of the prison in The Hague to visit his brother Cornelis, imprisoned under false accusations of treason. Johan knows the times are dangerous.
Perfect. Like, it's a story, right? You're into a story. There's 2 characters. You know, it's clear why, and it's 8 minutes. It's not a big ask of you to watch this whole thing. But yeah, no, it's great. What's this guy? I've never heard of this guy. Analyzing paintings. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, we do similar stuff. He releases a lot of videos. The internet's most controversial painting, the most insane Jesus painting ever. Van Gogh's first masterpiece. He's very all over the place. 12,000 views, 2 weeks. I'm gonna give this guy a sub. I love finding other arts channels. It's nice. I thought his comedic beat was great. That's what I mean. If I had done that, if I again, learn from my mistakes. If I had just taken that bit as it was and put it in the middle of the video, would have been funnier. The opening, if you watch me and you appreciate what I do, it's funny. To a broad audience, which is ultimately what I want, is like a bigger audience on YouTube. It's not funny because you don't know what the fucking video's about. It sucks, but it's true. Somebody else could pull it off, but like, I'm not established enough to pull it off, right? And that video really bombed. Is the video that does well or the channel? It depends. I think there's a lot of people that can basically do what, like, Wendigoon's. I think Wendigoon's a perfect example of this. I don't watch Wendigoon. I'm not making a comment on the quality of his work. Great thumbnails. If I go to maybe like this, right?
Now, I'm not saying they definitely did it. I'm just saying I have some questions. As many of you probably know, over the past couple of weeks, the entirety of the JFK files have been released. In 1992, Bush signed the JFK assassination and records collection.
I don't think this video, if this video wasn't Wendigoon, I don't think it would do well. Like just this sort of cold open like man sitting in front of a webcam on a desk. I don't think that would do well on a normal, if that was his first video, right? But it's like he can do it because he's like been doing it for so long. He has a name credibility. There's a lot of factors, right? There's a ton of factors into why someone does well. So anyway, take it into account, right? Like I have my base. I can expect all my Wendigoon be like Burger King Edge. I can expect all my videos to get 30K, which is nice, you know. It's nice to have that. But yeah, you know. There's levels to it, baby. There's levels to it. Where are we at? It's almost 10 o'clock. I have some more work to finish tonight, unfortunately. I would love to stay in chat as long as possible, but I do have some stream clips to get scheduled. I have some shorts to make for Horseshoe Theory. Might go for a run tonight. I'm not sure. But let's 5 more minutes, man. If there's any burning questions, any questions burning holes in your mind, or things you want to mention real quick, speak now or forever hold your peace. Also, join the Discord if you are new to the stream and you're just popping in fresh off. Join the Discord. Link is in the description. Pretty active community. Fun chats, fun time. Can't hurt it. And also, I stream pretty erratically, usually 3 days a week, but those days always change. So I always announce the streams in the Discord. So if you want to know next time, always join the Discord. Run at 10 p.m. I usually run when I get home. I sleep either 2 to 9 or 3 to 10. And as lazy of me as that sounds, it's because I've worked in the bar industry for so long. My sleep schedule is internally fucked. So I'll wake up at 9. I'll get here by 10, and I will do my YouTube. If I work that evening, I'll do my YouTube stuff, like editing, writing, whatever.
When's the Lane stream gonna be and how far into the series are you?
Thank you for the 420. Just 1 second. But yeah, I'll do that, and then I will, basically from like 10 to 5, I will work here, editing, writing, whatever I have to do for YouTube, for the podcast, and then I always work at like 6 to 11 or 6 to 12. I'll get home, so then I'll work like 6 hours at the bar, and then when I get back from the bar, I usually have like 2 hours where I do nothing, like 12 to like 11:30 to like 1:30 is like my do nothing hours, 1:30 in the morning. So usually every other night I'll go home and then I'll go for a run when I get home, and then I'll like just watch YouTube and like dick around like an hour and a half before bed. So it's the life. That's the life of a fucking man with no schedule. That's the life of a man who works 90 hours a week. But it's all social, so I can't complain. It's not like I'm fucking sitting in an office. I sit at the studio. All my friends are here, and then I go to work. Broken fucking talking about routine, and then I go to a bar and I do manual labor and fucking laugh with my patrons. It's fun, so I can't complain. Lane stream. I hate to say this. I have not started yet, because I wanted to wait for this video to come out to advertise the Patreon on it before I started it and announced a date. So the Lane stream will probably be, I'll announce a date in the next couple of days. The Lane stream will probably be in like 2 or 3 weeks. I know it's a short, it's like, what is it? It's like 11 episodes, 14 episodes. I know it's pretty short, so I'll start cranking the notes soon. Do like 2 episodes a night. Take some notes on it. How do you do nothing? I don't know. I watch like I watch Balatro videos. I watch car videos. I watch videos about like defunct car brands, or like there's this guy called Corsicar who's like the 10 fastest cars of the 1990s under 50,000 MSRP. I'll watch shit like that when I'm by myself and I have nothing to do. That's sort of my go-to. Yeah, but I'm really excited to watch Lane. Do you think it's worth putting loads of research into political parties with the goal of becoming motivated to vote again, or will it just make me more black-pilled? I think it's good to do some DD, right? Like if there's an election coming up, you know, consume some stuff without ego. What's up, dog? Sweet, I thought you were staring at a wall for 2 hours. No. Not anymore. Back when I was meditating, I used to. Loads of research in political parties. Yeah, no, I used it's good, man. Do some DD. Like, don't go crazy. I don't know, man. Do what you think you need to do. I found pretty tough though. Like the Canadian election just passed, and I was like pretty ambivalent on a lot of issues. Leading up to it, I thought I wasn't. Then as the election got closer, I realized I was like, fuck, I'm like actually now confused on who I'm voting for. Do I watch regular car reviews? Oh my fucking god, I've watched regular car reviews for like a decade, dude. I mainlined fucking regular car reviews when I was 16. I love that goddamn channel. Hey, what kind of stream is this? Chatting, a ranting schizophrenic with periodic reactions to content that aren't actually reactions. It's just me pausing the video to talk about things I want to talk about. And playing Balatro in the corner. RCR says YouTube really neutered him. Yeah, he regular car reviews. He seems to have, yeah, he's pretty, his views have gone down a lot, sadly. What sucks, because his videos are so good. He's still doing 60, 78K, 73K, 58K, 100K. He's fine. I mean, depends on how fast you can get these out. How? Do I follow him on Twitter? I gotta follow him on Twitter. I love this guy. I love this fucking guy. It's such good fucking videos. Also, this is my funniest tweet of all time, and no one liked it. Bask in the glory of this tweet, please. This is the funniest thing I've ever tweeted, and nobody liked it. It's 2 likes. I've scaled. Quantitative advancing. No more glauncing. TJRs and NMCs through the roof. Anti-opportunity processes. PPPs are no longer overheating. Shell Corp and the Fingulinas. Pratt's running smoothly. Short-term games with short-term users. What do you got? Anything else? Give you. What did Epstein do? Not much. He wasn't that bad of a guy. He was like a famous New York financier, friends with all the men in high places. A paragon of morality, a paragon of masculinity, a paragon of morality, a real platonic ideal of the kind of man you want to be. Yeah. 1 minute. Anything else? Any crazy questions? Anything fucking wild you just been dying to ask me? Or anything you want to say? Say it now. Did I do anything freaky on the island? Keep watching. Keep watching the next stream. I'll do the tell-all. I'll do the little St. James tell-all for 2,000 British pounds. 2,000 British pounds, I'll do the fucking Epstein Island tell-all. I'll tell you all the dirty, gritty details of Dog Island. And Dog's Cut. And Dog Rocks. You do anything freaky? I've been really into sex parties recently. Been really into being a dom at sex parties. I think it's something I've learned about myself recently. I've been really into rope. Was it the freakiest thing I've ever done? Chopped my balls off and died. Freakiest thing I've ever done. I don't know. Research chemicals underage that permanently changed my brain in a way that has made me functionally abnormal and totally incoherent to 90% of the population. And a completely maladaptive in a non-pragmatic way. Not in a good way. Not in a way where I like produce genius work. In a way where I'm like just totally incoherent most of the time. Oh, okay. I got work to do. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to be back Sunday night with another stream. Should be back on a regular. I was crunching for this video all week, so Sunday night back, regular stream, regular time. Listen to you ramble for 2 hours. That makes sense. Yeah, I'll be back for 2 hours. 8 p.m. Sunday night. Join the Discord. I'll announce it there. God bless your souls. Membership, Patreon. If you want to support me, help me out. Whatever you want to do. I'll take sponsorships. Don't get it twisted. I will take sponsorships. This is not me telling you I won't take sponsorships. I just get offered dog shit sponsorships constantly, and I refuse to take dog shit sponsorships. I'm not gonna do gambling. I'm not gonna do supplements. I'm not gonna open a fucking Labubu. I'll do Blue Chew. I will do a Blue Chew sponsorship. I will do Blue Chew. I will do Hims. I will do Incogni. I will do Ground News. That's fine. That's fine. That's a product. Blue Chew is an objective, like, you take this and a thing happens. Open and shut case. I will not do most things I get fucking offered. As of right now, I'm Patreon funded. I'm channel membership funded. I have not had a sponsor in months because I get offered stupid shit. I'll do Adam and Eve. I won't do Morgan and Morgan. I would do Adam and Eve. Fuck it. I like sex. I'll do sex stuff. I'll sell fucking. I'm totally into that. I'd happily shill fucking ball gags, man. That's dope. That's fine. That's an objective. That's a product. You like this shit? Dope. Here it is. Easy. There's no ambiguity. There's no catch. Okay? I would totally sell all that. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Sunday night, I'll be back 8 p.m. 2-hour stream. Let's run it. God bless your soul. Never kill yourself.